Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, the brothers from Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming back with another Lord willing edifying lesson to feed the sheep of the elect. All right, so before we get started with the lesson, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect that's out here laboring in all truth and sincerity. To you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
All right, and as you see the title, be prepared to find yourself in an impossible situation, man. All right, because what the Lord is about to bring upon the earth, all right, hey, it's going to be all out hell out here, man. Okay, and to the carnal mind, it's going to look like there's no way out, man, because the situation that Esau was putting the people in is pretty much, you're gonna lose no matter what decision that you choose to make. All right, which is why it's so imperative for you to have Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai in your corner, because that's going to be the only way to escape. All right, the position that Esau was trying to box you into, man. All right, because as we know, the way that this world is going, all right, Esau is trying to make this place a prison planet. All right, and the catalyst to be a part of that new society, we know is that charagma, man. All right, and if you refuse to take that charagma, you're going to be ousted from the world as we know it, and then also too, you're going to be targeted to get your life taken from you, man. All right, you got anything you want to say?
This is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. You see, so the elect is going to go through some things, you see. So how much more the rest of the world? I want to get this word for tribulation. It says pressing together, pressure. It says metaphorically, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, and strait. So pretty much, like you said, put into a box, where like you're forced to make a decision, because the scriptures say that it's in Revelation 2:10 or 3:10, but pretty much how the world is going to be tried. All right, and that's pretty much that box that's closing in on the whole world.
You can get that, get in that NLT bump for sure.
Okay.
Because that's really what it is, man. It's a time of trying, all right, a test to see your what you truly believe in, man. Because if you claim to be in the faith, you claim to believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, the Lord is going to put that faith to the test, man. All right, that's going to come via you being put in crazy situations to where you see like there's no way out, man. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 2:10 NLT. It says, don't be afraid of what you are about to suffer. The devil will throw some of you into prison to test you.
It says 2 and 10?
Con.
3 and 10.
3 and 10.
Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, my bad. Yeah, that's it. It's Revelation 3 and 10. You say NLT?
Mm-hmm.
Con. It says, because you have obeyed my command to preserve or persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those that belong to this world.
To test those that belong to this world, because you're gonna that hour of temptation is gonna really show, all right, who belongs to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and who, whose minds have been taken by Satan, man. All right, because when the Lord pretty much strips you of everything that you pretty much have, things that you need, all right, then it's really going to show if you truly believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because we're truly going to have to walk out on faith in that day, man. All right, can you get that Matthew 7 about the straight gate?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to sit here and say, okay, yeah, I'm not going to take the chip, all right, I'm not going to break, like the niggas in ISUBK say, I ain't no weak Jew. All right, yeah, it's easy to say that right now while things are still kosher.
Mm-hmm.
But how you going to truly act when you're put in this situation? That is a question that all of us have to ask ourselves, man. Truly seeing, all right, in that time, man, the works that we put forth, all right, that made us say that we believe in the Lord. We're going to have to stand on that in that day, man. All right, and whatever situation we find ourselves in. That's why we have the examples written. You know, like scripture say, things written aforetime was written for our learning of the people of our ancestors that got put in these impossible situations, like Susanna, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, like Daniel, you know, and other examples you can go into, man. You know, these people got put they got their faith put to a test, man, and they excelled, they passed the test, man. All right.
You said Matthew, the straight gate.
Kind
This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction."
All right, and that straight gate is going into that degree of difficulty, man. All right, and when you go into that, it really it goes into the you go into the definition of something dealing with the Sanhedrin, which deals with being in the presence of the judges, within so many words, man. And everybody's going to be judged in that day. All right, that's going to be your ultimate trial of faith. All right.
All right, this is the definition for Sanhedrin. It says, a political and judicial council headed by the high priest. Keep going.
Yeah, read a little bit more, see what this says.
God says, in his role as a civil ruler, in the Talmud, it is described as primarily a religious legislative body headed by sages through with certain political and judicial functions.
It was saying something about the judges, things in the blue, right? But the point being that's going to be a time of trying, man. All right, and you're going to be judged, really amongst the greatest judge, which is Yahweh Shai, man. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And so, like I said, your faith is going to be put on the line, man, to show where you stand at, man. If you're truly of the elect or not, man, because the Lord's going to put the Spirit on those that are meant to be saved to resist, even if that cost them their lives, man. All right, and that's something that the apostles have been stressing for the last few weeks, man. All right, like Apostle Barr did a lesson on that yesterday, having the mindset of a martyr. Are you truly ready to die for your belief, man? Mm-hmm. That's the thing that we got to understand. We could very well die for this truth, man. And that's the position that all the men of the Lord in the past and the fellow sisters that believe, because you're going to be tried too, man. All right, the best example of that is the mother of the of the sons the sons of the second Maccabees, man. All right, she watched her 7 sons be put to death, and then she still held it down for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. So you that right there lets you know that she was of the elect. So with that being said, everybody, like I'm gonna keep quoting the title. Everybody's gonna be put in a position of difficulty. Everybody's gonna be put in an impossible situation. But then that's gonna show, all right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai flex is powerful, man. All right, because that straight gate is gonna try everybody, man. All right, which leads to Daniel 12, Baruch Hashah.
Con, you want to finish that Matthew out or no?
That was the point. That was the point.
This is Daniel Allah chapter 12, except verse 1.
Con.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that is found written in the book.
Right, and that time of trouble is fastly approaching. Jeremiah 37, what's up? All right, because the times are going to be so bad on the earth that Michael, the archangel, is going to have to stand up, all right, for the elect, all right, because this time of trouble that we're heading into, which is going to start, all right, with Babylon pretty much, collapsing, the infrastructure collapsing, the economy crashing, all right, which means no more paper money, all right, the total anarchy of society where you're going to see people completely bug out worse than what we're seeing now. Mm-hmm. All right, robbery, rape, murder, all these different things are going to be at an all-time high because these people, they're going to have nothing to restrain them from those inclusive thoughts, or intrusive, whatever that word is. Intrusive thoughts. So when their stomach is hungry, when they're scared, when they don't know what to do, man, they're just going to go to whatever that thought the demons put on them to do, man. And you're going to see all out hell on the planet. This is why we need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to protect us in that day, man. You know, you want to say something?
Pretty much that's what we seeing. You know, everybody's being put into a box where they gotta make decisions. You know, we seeing famine around the planet. We're seeing in America, Babylon the Great, the hurricanes. You know, the what do you call it? Not the proxy.
Polycrisis.
The poly crisis. We're seeing the poly crisis. We're seeing the destruction or the collapse of the dollar. You see, so everybody's being put into a box, and the only ones that are gonna make it is the elect. You know. Go ahead and read this.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it."
All right, the time of Jacob's trouble is going to weed out, all right, the men from the boys, man. All right, the ones that truly believe between those that, from the ones that don't. Because right now it's easy to sit there and quote unquote, you know, boast your stripes. All right, because you got a lot of people that have been in the faith for a little minute. All right, so as you see, the self-boasting is being done where these people are exalting themselves. But at the end of the day, everybody's going is going to be tried, man, and that's the point I want to keep making before we start going to some of these examples. Because I'm gonna read this real quick in Second Ezra. You got something?
Can I get a word?
Go ahead.
It says, "For that day is great." That word "great" goes into God of War, coming from the root word "gadar," which means great, but God of War goes into says great, large in magnitude and extent, in number and intensity. All right, so going into Matthew chapter 7 verse 13, that straight gate is going to be intense. All right, so it's going to be a lot of things going on. All right, again to mention the famine, the pestilences, you know, this great tribulation.
Yeah,
You see?
that. Yeah, because as I say, it's going to be a time like no other, man. All right. This is Second Ezra chapter 15, and I'm gonna go right to the point. This is verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." So, like the brother Yawan was just saying, all right, it's gonna be all out hell on this place because the Lord is about to hit Babylon, all right, with everything that the Lord has prepared for it, man, and it's gonna be all type of shit going on, man. Shit that you never thought that could ever happen, man. All right, the Lord's going to be releasing these newly created creatures. All right, you're going to see, you know, all these different diseases that's been locked up in the CDC that Esau's been, you know, keeping and storing. All right, it's going to be hell. But at the end of the day, as it said in Jeremiah 30:7, man, the Lord's going to save the elect out of it, man. All right, and one thing you got to realize when it comes to how the Lord's gonna stand up for his people. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And that's the thing that you gotta keep in the back of your head when you find yourself in what you would think as a lose-lose situation. Because like I mentioned earlier, when Esau truly brings in this new world order, you're going to see yourself in a lose-lose situation because like I mentioned, all right, if you don't take the charagma, you're going to be exiled from society to where no more grocery stores, no more, you ain't going to be able to have access to no buildings, all right, you ain't going to have access to be able to do shit. You're going to be completely ousted from society, man, all right, and then if you do take it, all right, you already know the judgment for that. You're going to find yourself being melted when the Lord pelts this place for those ICBM nuclear missiles. So, like I said, in the mind of a two-third, a carnal man, it's like, well, fuck, what am I going to do? All right, I'm fucked either way. So, that's what's going to lead a lot of people just to say, fuck it, they're going to take it. But with us, we're not going to take it because, as I said, Sirach 2 and 10, look at generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And the answer is nobody. No matter how grim the situation looked, the man of the Lord never was forsaken. The Lord always came through for him. All right? You go ahead.
This is Isaiah Yeshaya. Could you get Isaiah 59 and 15, Baba Shah? This is Isaiah Yeshaya chapter 36 and verse 6. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." You see, so pretty much 2/3 they're gonna trust in the staff of of Egypt, which represents bondage. You see, which pretty much represents reliance. You see, and again that's 2/3, but the elect is not gonna entrust in this devil, and that's why Revelation, I think it's Revelation 13 and verse 17. Those that don't consent to the image. Revelation 13 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You see, that's why that says what it says, because pretty much those that live outside of the grid, so to speak, they're gonna be killed. All right, while 2/3 they're gonna rely on that system. You
right.
see?
And that word "kill," goes beyond just you physically dying, because that's gonna happen too. But being killed also means you being cut off. You being ousted from the society, because a part of what that new world order requires of you, you got to make an oath to Satan, man. That's what that Karagama is. Your stamp to say that hey, you worship, all right, what they call Lucifer, which is Satan, all right, and that you are bound beneath, that you can, move in with Esau's new world. But as you were saying, you go back to what you read earlier in Isaiah.
Isaiah 36 and 6.
Time.
This is Isaiah 36 and verse 6. It says, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him.
Right, you're gonna trust in that broken reed, and you're gonna be fucked. Because if you think that Esau in his diabolical plan, the so-called bring peace to mankind with that new world order, you're gonna find yourself in a terrible ass situation. You think you fucked up now, all right? Esau's plan for, they got smart cities, they're gonna have a social credit system, all right? They got you're not gonna have any type of private owned anything, all right? They don't want you to have no cars. They said for their mission for 2030, you're gonna have three outfits a year. You're not gonna be able to eat meat. You're not gonna be able to eat dairy, which you shouldn't be eating dairy anyway. But you're not gonna be able to eat meat. You're not gonna be able to move out of the 15-minute radius that they have for the zone that you're gonna be locked up in, man. All right. They're not gonna let you have relations with your woman. You're gonna have to go through the machine, bro. It is literally hell that he has prepared for you people, man. So you thinking that it's gonna be better for you just to go ahead and just bend the knee, man. The Lord's gonna show you fucked up, man. All right.
So this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22. All right, and like we was going into, that's not a way to live. This is Matthew 24 and 22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You see, so pretty much Esau Edom's lifestyle, see, is not beneficial for the planet Earth. You see, let me get another precept. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, and we'll get verse 5. It says, yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is his death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right, I want to touch on this point where it says cannot be satisfied, because pretty much this devil has a like an itinerary of wickedness, and I touched on a video earlier this week, but pretty much, he's destroying the ozone layer. You see, so pretty much his MO is to destroy the whole world. You go to Revelation chapter 6, it talks about how he takes peace from the earth. Yep. He runs the world opposite of the manual, you see. So if he was to keep going, nothing will be alive.
Yeah, that's why I said he has his death. This nigga literally is he's death walking, man. Like the scripture in 2 Thessalonians 2 tells you that he's the son of perdition, man. Mm-hmm. Or what we always call him, he's the harbinger of death. That word harbinger goes into the bringer. Because everything that he does is to bring forth death into the world, man. He's the reason why we pretty much, through his incarnation of the serpent, all right? But he's the reason why we die right now, man, because he's the one that beguiled Eve. That's his spirit. Let me say it right there. His spirit is the same spirit that beguiled Eve in the garden that led us to having death now. So You people, can you get that where it says you trying to save yourself, that you'll die, something like that? I forgot how it's worded.
He that seeks to lose his life.
Save his life shall lose it. Yeah, because like what I was getting at earlier. Well, I'll say that till you get there.
This is Salah. This is Luke chapter 17 and verse 33. It reads, Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Right, because if you're trying to save yourself, then that shows you that you don't have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's why in Sirach 2, just a precept that this is Sirach 2 and 2. It says, make thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble, man. You gotta, like the scripture say, man, be still and know that I am the Lord. You gotta let the Lord, do what he gotta do, and the Lord will always, come through for his elect, man. So when Esau, hey, you could have your head in the damn guillotine. All right, you gotta trust in the Lord no matter what, that he's gonna protect you. Even if you gotta get your head cut off, man. Death is an escape. All right, that's part of the standard of what the Lord is gonna raise up for his elect. All right, so you can't allow your fear to overtake your faith, man. All right, because like what Wisdom of Solomon 17 breaks down what fear is, man. It's the betraying of the succors that reason the offers, man, and the succors goes into the help that the Lord is bringing you, and the true help lies in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of knowing that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, hey, he's omnipotent, he's everywhere, hey, he is, all right, and Yahweh Shai, he's going to deliver us from the hands of our enemy, man, all right. So I wanted to bring this out. This is a quote, we got from this PDF I always bring out. It says, as I see it, this is the way Yahweh Bashim Yahushua works. He purposely and deliberately works in a way that contradicts the way men reason. He must have an environment of impossibility before he commences the work. That is simply the way the Most High is, and is the manner in which he works. And you see that through the various examples that the Lord, put different men the examples of, such as I mentioned earlier. All right, the three holy children. All right, Susanna and Daniel. Those situations look like they had no way out. But did they bitch up? Did they end up folding? No, they held it down, like the scripture said, to strive for the truth unto death, because they knew that the Lord was gonna be with them, whether they died or not. And hey, if they did die, all right, that's what the mentality we had to have. But we gotta die, so be it, because the scripture said we love our life not unto death anyway, man. Because we ain't living. This ain't life, man. This we surviving. All right, it's through the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua where we're even able to still draw breath, knowing that everything is fucking polluted here, man. Okay, so going into that, let's go into can you get that thing that's written 4 times written before I learn it, and then we're gonna go into some examples. Unless you got something.
Y'all get this real fast. This is Psalms 62 and verse 6. It says, He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. I want to get this word for move. It says, I'm a rock, which goes into totter, shake, slip. It says, be overthrown. And it says, be out of course. You see, so trusting in the Lord, you're not going to be out of course. That's what you brought up a point, but pretty much those that trusted in the Lord, they was never destroyed, never overthrown. But let me get that, you said, a 4 time.
I'm trying to find a quick one. You just gave me an idea for a precept, but go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. It reads, For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Break down a little bit.
I'm gonna read it again. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime, going into the scriptures, it says were written for our learning, you see, so we can, this is something that we can reference. Like if you was on a job, if you don't know what's going on, you can go back to the manual. This is pretty much our manual. That's why the scriptures call it a standard. You know, the scripture says set up a standard, something that you can look to. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. You see, so we have, if we continue to do the things, the elect, if they continue to do the things, well, so the hopeful elect has the hope, you know, if they continue to do the things that's written in the scriptures, they can expect to be saved, you know, if they follow the footsteps of our forefathers.
Kind, real quick for you. This is Psalms 121 and 1. It says, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help.
Mm-hmm.
My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. And that's the thing that you always got to keep in your mind, no matter what position you find yourself in, man. The Lord is He's our help, man. He's our shield. He's our buckler, man. All right. He's our rock. All right. He will not suffer my foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. All right. And you got to remember that, man. The Lord, He's not gonna allow our enemies to pretty much have their way with us. All right. We're not in a time to where we're gonna go into another captivity. This is it. This is the last go round, man. All right. So the Lord's gonna come through like He's came through always, you know, in the different examples that we're about to go into, man. All right. So I want to get this here in the book of Susanna.
I'll grab it for you.
Start at 1, and then we're gonna jump to. Yeah, just read a little bit of it.
This is Susanna chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, there dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim. He took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Chelcias, a very fair woman, one that loved the Lord. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses. Now Joachim was a great rich man and had a fair garden joining unto his house, and to him resorted the Jews, because he was more honorable than than all others. The same year were appointed 2 of the ancients of the people to be judges, such as the Lord spake of, that wickedness came from Babylon, from ancient judges, who seemed to govern the people. These kept much at Joachim's house, and all that had any suits, and law came unto them. Now when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk, and 2 elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her, and they perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven nor remember just judgments.
All right, so these are supposed to be 2 elders of Israel. All right, 2 judges. All right, and pretty much, you know, they knew Susanna was, you know, married, and they pretty much, you know, was taken by her beauty, man. All right, so they had already committed adultery in their mind just off of that. All right, so they, as you're gonna go into, as you read down, all right, they plan to pretty much, you know, go and have their way with her, man. All right, so we're gonna jump down to start at 14.
Susanna 1 and 14, it says,
Matter of fact, jump down to 19. You go. We're gonna be reading all day.
This is Susanna 1 and 19. Now when the maids were gone forth, the 2 elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee, therefore consent unto us and lie with us.
All right, so just to give a quick backdrop of what happened was pretty much, you know, the 2 men, all right, was spying her out, you know, checking her out or whatever. So she went to go take a bath, and they waited for her, you know, the maidens that was with her to leave her to where she was alone. You know, and they saw that she was alone. They pretty much tried to, you know, go and you know, try to go get her. And so, as it read, they hopped out on her and pretty much let her know that, look, we find you attractive and we want you. All right, go ahead.
Verse 21. If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee.
So pretty much they let her know that, look, you either gonna let us have our way with you, or we're gonna lie and say that we caught you with another man, knowing that you have a husband. Go ahead.
Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side, for if I do this thing, it is death unto me, and if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands.
And that's essentially in the spirit or the same situation that each and every one of us is going to find ourselves in, dealing with how Esau's coming at us, man. All right, because he's going to present this charagma as the only way to be able to escape. Well, I can say escape. Be the only way to be able to stay, in this system, to be able to live. All right, so you're faced with sin either way. All right, and that's pretty much what Susanna was saying. Go ahead.
It is verse 23. It is better for me to fall into your hands, and
Sorry, I meant to say death, not sin, but go ahead.
23 it says, it is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
And that's the position that you got to be in, no matter what. All right, I'm gonna fall into the hand of the Lord, man. Real quick, get Matthew 10 and 28.
Basically saying, do what you got to do.
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, I'd rather have my judgment with the Lord than by what you're gonna do to me, because at the end of the day, I'm at the mercy of the Lord anyways, man. Because does not the scriptures tell you that the Lord controls all things? All right, so He put you in that position to see what you was gonna do. Go ahead.
Matthew 28, what?
10, 28.
10.
Time.
This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. It says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
All right, so you got to fear Yahweh Shem Shah more than anything. All right, because the Lord is the one that can really, destroy you. Because if He really wanted to, He can disappear your spirit, man. All right, but with these devils, all right, He can only kill you once. But once your spirit leaves your body, He can't touch you. So who should you fear more? The Lord. All right, and that's the situation that all of us are going to be faced with during that hour of temptation, man. All right, because when your stomach is rumbling, all right, you got a family and they're pretty much crying because they don't know how they're going to survive. These are the things that you have to put aside and realize, like, man, look, the Lord got us, man. At the end of the day, over everything else, man, the Lord, we're in the Lord's hands. So whatever He has us to do, whether, hey, let's say we're not of the elect ones. We pray that we are, but if we're not, then that's our judgment. But at the end of the day, we're gonna let the Lord pretty much dictate what's gonna be, our fate, man. And that's the position that you gotta realize, man. Nothing is in your control, man. All right, everything is being orchestrated by Yahweh Shem Shai, man. And so you gotta prepare your mind for these type of things, man. Okay, so let's go from that example. Let's get the example with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Daniel. If you know what that said off the top of the head.
No, I don't. Let me look it up.
Con. Because they were faced with the same situation, because with them, all right, they pretty much was in Babylon, all right. Nebuchadnezzar, he erected a statue. No, it wasn't a statue. It was it was a trumpet, and when the trumpet pretty much was blown, everybody had to bow down and pretty much worship Nebuchadnezzar. All right, if I remember correctly.
Is it Daniel 1 or 2?
Let's see. I haven't went over it yet.
Because pretty much, they was tempted to entrust into an idol, and that's pretty much the same thing that the elect is going to have to go through in this time right now, with the idol being the charagma. You see, we had a prelude with the juice, which they coming back with the juice, you see, which again goes into an idol. I think it's 3. Yeah, 3.
That's all.
So,
I'm just hopping, bro. Daniel 3 and started
like verse 2, so.
No, we just gonna get right to the point. Started at verse 17.
This is Daniel chapter 3 and verse 17. It says,
That's like 15.
this is Daniel chapter 3 and verse 15. Now, if ye be
It's like
written,
12.
Alright.
12, yeah.
This is Daniel chapter 3 and verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake.
Right, because the same way that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bend the knee for Nebuchadnezzar, that's the same thing that the elect is doing with refusing to bow down to Esau's system, man. All right, to take that charagma, man. All right, and so we're going to be singled out for that. That's where the persecution is going to come. All right, Esau already has everything on the books to get ready to come down against us. All right, they're already, they have everything ready. All right, and that's the thing you gotta know. Nothing, all right, should take you by surprise in these times now, man. All right.
Can I get a quick precept?
Go ahead.
This is because the hour that we're coming to is the hour of temptation, you know. So I want to get a quick one. This is Matthew 4:9. This is when Yahushua was being tempted. I'm sorry, verse 8. It says, "Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them." Right, and that's what Esau Edom, you know, is gonna attempt to do. He's gonna tempt you to invite you to his new world that he's creating, this new order, this new system. You know, where you're gonna be a perpetual slave, but at least you get to, you know, survive. At least you get to be a part of it, because
Right.
that's all he's really offering. You know, you Israelites for sure, and the rest of these nations, right? But that temptation is there. Verse 9. And he saith unto him, All these things will I give unto thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahushua unto him,
Yeah, 'cause he's pretty much like you just said. He's offering you life to live, but it's not really him living though. Or you living, Salaki. Because as we said, his situation for you to say you're gonna live is him saying, yes, you're gonna be under his thumb. All right, pretty much, you know, serving out. Like in that Black Mirror episode, you just in a 4x4 cell, just being bombarded by commercials. All right, pretty much having your every move dissected under a microscope, man. That's not fucking living, man. You know. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 10. Then saith Yahushua unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou worship. You know, and I want to mention that because Yahushua, he didn't bow, right? So Yahushua didn't bow. You know, this Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they didn't bow. The men, the Lord, they are not here to bow the knee to the image of Baal, right? Those were there, those 7,000 men that the Lord had preserved, you know, to get the victory, to actually win, to overcome this death, this system, everything about this food, the monetary system, all of it's a trap. The air that you breathe, it's all a pit to keep you down, right?
That's right.
That was it.
Back to Daniel chapter 3 and verse, who's that, 13, right? It says, Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up. Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands?
Right, and that's the same thing that they find themselves in as Susanna, man. An impossible situation, because on one hand, all right, if they don't bow and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar set up, they was going to sin against the Lord, all right, which is going to result in them being put to death. But then on the other hand, if they, if they did, if they didn't, then they was going to be put in the fiery furnace and be burned up and die. So, as we're going to read, they had to make a decision, all right? So that's what I said. That's the impossible situation you're going to find yourself in, because it's going to look like I said, from a carnal standpoint, no matter what you do, you're going to lose. You're in a lose-lose situation, man. That's why you need Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
Can I quick break up?
Go ahead.
This is the second Maccabees 6:26. It says, for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men. Right, because that's what Esau's offering you, for you to be, like you said, a carnal aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
See, that's the same thing we brought out, in that Matthew 10:28, man. And you gotta fear the one that can kill both soul and body in hell, man. All right, like I said, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, if he really wanted to, he could make your spirit cease from existence, man. So he's the one that you should be fearing the most out of anything, because it's the Lord that's bringing forth the judgment, regardless of what you decide. And it's so bad. Matter of fact, he's so bad with it. He's the one that put the decision in your mind to do what you was gonna do, man.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
this is 2 Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 18. It says, for they said he trusts in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty, who at a beck can cast down both them that come against us and also the world. When you go into a beck, it's going to like a, if you have like, what they call like the Godfathers and stuff like that, they give like it's like a head nod, so at a head nod, it says, at a beck can cast down both them that come against us and also all the world. So all the Lord has to do is a head nod to destroy everything on the world. And that just shows his power like he was going into.
Read that again, that's heavy. I ain't never heard this before.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 18. It says, for they said he trusts in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty, who at a beck can cast down both them that come against us and also all the world.
That's bad right there, man. Hey, that's why the Lord needs to be. He needs to be feared, man. Hey, he can just get an angel to go ahead and kill him, and you gonna die just like that, man. They ain't gonna budge. They ain't gonna hesitate. They just gonna execute, because the angels are itching at the bit to execute judgment for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right. So with that being said, this is why you gotta fear, man, and this is why you should always put Yahweh Shem Yahushua above anything. But then that goes for small examples. All right. Different things you're faced with, like for example, we had the trial run, with the last couple years with this whole the C-19, okay, where people was faced with the decision, well, you either gonna get poked up or you gonna lose your job. All right, you either gonna get poked up or you gonna have certain family members cut you off because they're gonna feel like you're gonna transmit the thing because you didn't comply to what the government was saying. These are the things that you gotta prepare your mind for, man. All right, because like I said, man, you people are used to comfort. You're used to things going your way. So when you see yourself in a position to where it's like, nothing favors what I want to do. That's why they said you gotta choose the lesser of two evils. Nigga, no, it's still evil. Whatever decisions you make. So you gotta always stay on the righteous path, man. That straight gate, man. You got something?
Yeah. This is a Sirach 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord.
See? No evil's gonna befall you if you fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's always gonna make a way to escape, man.
It says, but in temptation, even again, he would deliver him.
You got it.
So that, like the brother's going into those hour temptations, these trying times, and we had the trial run and the 2020, right? And we're coming into the real deal, and there's going to be a great division. You see, well, we listened to them before, we got out of the situation, things went back to normal. If we only do that again, things will be all right. And then you're going to have the other spectrum saying, no, they're here. This time they're going to take it all. Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys are just, seed theorists. You guys don't know what you're talking about. right? We just listen. So it's gonna be a great division. You know, the Lord set this thing up marvelously, right? This movie is the final event,
Yeah.
and that's why it's taking time. You know, you don't want the ending of the movie just to speed right through.
Suspense is building up, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more.
That was it.
Kind, appreciate you. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. And like I said earlier, even if that way to escape means that you have to give your life up for the Lord, that's a way to escape, because when you understand death, that shouldn't be an option that you fear, all right? Because that's nothing more than a transition. And when you understand, all right, what happens when you die in this faith, you're going to be one of the first risen. You're already going to be in the ships waiting to return, all right? So with that being said, man, hey, man, you are going to, if you trust in the Lord, you're going to win regardless, all right? You got to, just understand that the way that dove is going to come may not be in a way that you necessarily wanted to go, but fuck it.
Do good. You know, do good now. You know, you gotta prepare your mind for this thing. If you're not willing to fast now, how you gonna be willing to fast when all hell breaks loose?
Yeah, when you ain't got a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So if you ain't willing to sacrifice this world now, then you ain't gonna be willing to sacrifice it when it comes.
Exactly.
Right? You bring up yourself, bro.
Cause it's Monster Rock 7 and verse 1, land backing off you. Because pretty much the elect is gonna do those things that is advantageous to the situation that they're in. It says, do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee. So pretty much, like I said, the elect, they're gonna do those things that they're gonna do the righteous deeds.
Yep.
They're not going to be doing the things that is going to reward evil. You see, because the Lord said that He was going to reward a man according to his ways.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That starts now. You know, right now, brothers are starting to become more cautious about what they are consuming, right? And not only into your body, but also the type of entertainment, the type of things you fill your mind with throughout the day, right? Because we're learning to value, you know, what we've been given, these gifts, right? These temples, these bodies, right? To actually be down here upon the earth and actually live as Yahweh Shema Shai intended us to be, you know, to the best of our abilities now, right? So we understand the Lord's will. We understand, you know, all these things that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to give to those that endure, right? You got it. Was there any more in that? I got precept.
No.
This is Revelations 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? So you kept this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding. You kept the faith. You know, ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations. And I appointed to you a kingdom as my Father has appointed unto me.
Yep.
Right? So we have continued with Yahweh Shai in our patience, in bearing our cross, denying ourselves. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You know, the hour of temptation, that MOT to the B system being fully implemented, right? And you see remnants of that, you know, just starting now, but you know, it's starting to bud, and it's going to be a full-grown, you know, forest going on. You know, Esau is going to really push this thing. Everyone's really they're going to take it.
Well, they already let it be known. WEF said it that 2023 was the first year of the New World Order, man. You know, so we here, we in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so like we saying, this lesson is pretty much, you know, an exhortation to prepare your mind for when shit starts to get really bad, man. Because they've been saying, this winter, these next few months, man, hey, be prepared to see all type of shit, you know, all type of plagues, sicknesses. All right, because they're already saying these new strains are popping up. You're starting to see people all of a sudden catch, you know, cases of the C word again.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know?
they want you put your muzzle back on.
Yeah.
You putting the muzzle back on, it silences your voice. It takes away your sense of identity, right?
And it's a sign of submission.
And a sign of submission. That's right. So, and even with the quality of the weather, they're telling you want to put these things on, right? So all of these things are leading back to your muscles being put back on and you submitting, right? Physically, and they're already dancing to that tune. You know, they're already dancing to the vibration, the wine of Babylon. They're gonna take it. They're right. The judgment is right.
That's right.
And it's set up, perfectly, because pretty much you got a lot of, like we were saying, the polycrisis, crises, or whatever the word is, for multiple crises, and then pretty much like with the infrastructure, like a lot of times these storms is going on and the power is getting knocked out.
Yep.
The water is going bad. You see, so 2/3 of these heathens, they're going to fall right in line with the NWO.
Yeah, 'cause they don't know. They don't have any spiritual backing. They don't have any backing, period, because their backing is this country, is this government, man. All right. So when they're faced with the position to where either you bow or you die, these people are scary. So of course they're gonna bow, man. You know.
Definitely so.
We'll go back to that damn like
This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 26. It says, "And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand." All right, with sand, if you build a house on the sand, it's not gonna have a foundation. So it's gonna be like teetering.
It's not stable.
It says, "And the rain descended."
And what's the examples of these people building their foundations on sand? The people that put their trust in the dollar, put their trust in the government, people that put their trust in Egypt and Pharaoh, which modern day Pharaoh is Esau, man. These are all foundations of sand that's going to be washed away, all right, which is being washed away now by the truth.
Yep, getting land.
Yeah.
And you get land, like, you just get rolled on. You know what I mean? Not like you got a big ass wall, 30-foot wall, you know what I mean, around your farm.
Look at the farmers. Look how many farmers that have pretty much had their whole land stolen from them.
Chicken livestock.
Burned.
What happened to your chicken farm? You got a coop full of chickens, they gone now. Someone just came on your property and, took your resources from you.
And then if you try to be like, nah, fuck it, I ain't listening. They sent fucking planes and shit over your farm to see, okay, this nigga ain't compliant, so we're gonna have to go see him. So you through.
Spy planes. Esau got everything on lock. He can see everything going on in Babylon the Great. It's global positioning system.
So once again, when you're put in this impossible situation, what are you gonna do? Go ahead. Go back.
Kind of, if I can mention too, the Lord said, in the curses, pretty much no man will be able to redeem you.
Nope.
You see, so like farming and like brothers was going into
arming up.
Yeah, that's not going to deliver you out of Jacob's trouble. You see, the only deliverance is through Hamashiach Yahushua.
Which is why when that was brought up, it said that Michael the archangel is going to have to stand up, all right, for the believers, man, because it's going to be that bad, like the scripture described it. It's going to be a time like no other. And when you really just sit and meditate on that wording, a time like no other. All right, so you think about all the bad shit that happened throughout history: the flood, 70 A.D., the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, shit, the Crusades, and all the things that happened in history. It says it's gonna be worse than all that shit. Okay, so that's how we know that. Look, we gotta make sure our relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua is sealed tight, man. All right, you can't have no kinks in your armor, no openings. All right, no room for doubt is at all allowed in our faith, man. Because that little bit a space where you can allow these demons to go in, they're gonna go in and you're gonna be infected, man.
Yep, everybody said. This is Matthew 19:26. But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible. Because you mentioned, we're going to be put into impossible situations. For man, that seems very impossible, right? We're men of limited resources. Really think about the resources that you have on a day-to-day basis. We really don't have anything. But think about when it comes to Yahweh Shem Shai, Those gotta stop thinking about, you gotta think big. You're talking about a kingdom in the heavens where things are well ordered, where angels are going to and fro in the earth, giving reports about what's going on here, what's going on there.
Yep.
Angels going forth in the earth, passing judgment that the Heavenly Father ordains.
Yep.
Right? There's an order, there's a heavenly presence. There's a multitude of angels that can at any moment come and bring you food and all these supplies, whatever you need.
That's right.
You gotta see now, you brothers gotta have a perspective now. The Lord's already taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
I've already gotten out of that situation. So, and it's a process of growth. This isn't something you just wake up one night, you just get the download. No, you gotta grow in this thing. That's why Yahweh Shema Shah is constantly requiring growth from the brotherhood, right? From the sisters as well.
That's right.
That was it in Matthew.
Con. A little bit, Daniel.
This is Daniel chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
If I may chime in, they didn't have to second think it.
Nope.
Their decision was still the same, right? They got deeper into the fire, metaphorically. It was things were heating up. The situation that they were in were heating up, and they still maintained their integrity. Scriptures talk about how the integrity of the upright shall uphold him.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep us on that path. It's going to keep us standing upright in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai, our integrity, right? And that's what we should have. We should be men of integrity. You got it.
Because if I can add, a good piece of gold is going to hold up the integrity, and that's pretty much likened to the elect in the straight gate.
Yes, sir.
17.
Real quick, this is a precept off of what Isaiah just said. This is St. Matthew 10 and verse 19.
That's fair. I was going to get that earlier.
And it says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak. For it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Just off of what the brother Isaiah just said, man. Because when they were presented in that situation, it was instinct. They just automatically just act because they were in the Spirit. And that's the same thing that we got to be in. Because, hey, if you are in the flesh, man, you're going to make a fleshly decision. Mm-hmm. And when these situations occur, man, you got to constantly be in the Spirit. You got to be in, we're being trained to be in the Spirit all the time. Like a good example I can think of, for you brothers that's in the anime, in Dragon Ball Z, whenever Goku and Gohan was pretty much, they had got through with the training, Gohan just turned Super Saiyan. And so it was like to get used to, being in this form, they had to stay Super Saiyan for like however long it was till they had to go fight Cell. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, that's the same way we got to be spiritually, always in the spirit to where it becomes second nature, man. So when decisions are made, we're making spiritual decisions off just instinct, man.
It's almost like fighting, like fighters, when you train to a certain amount of time, it's like, you don't gotta think about what you want to do. It's kind of like it just happened. If somebody throw a hook, you just catch it. Or you see something, you'll pull on it. It's pretty much when you make them defensive movements, it's the movements in the spirit.
That's right. Or give one last example like basketball. When they shoot a shot, they don't think about shooting. They just shoot.
Right.
They're in the zone.
Like Kyrie when he's setting his defender up. Like I heard Amon Shumpert pretty much, break down. He's like, Kyrie's like a wizard with the rock, man, because he pretty much will put you in position to where he'll want you to cut him off so he can hit you with another move, and he'll make it to where he's like making you choose how you want him to score on you, man. And that's pretty much in the spirit of how, we are being trained to pretty much maneuver in the spirit, man. Mm-hmm. All right, to where it's instinct. That's why in Romans 8 it tells you to walk in the spirit. Therefore, you won't do the things of the flesh, man. All right, and this walk leading up into the real test is all to prepare us for how to be able to do that. Because when this shit go, like Elder Yashwamba always say, we gotta fully step out on faith in that time, and that's the example that we're given with these different accounts to show you that these men, you know, and the woman that we get use the examples for,
Mm-hmm.
they were in the spirit, and therefore that's why they did what they did, man. That's why they're written of to give us now the example on how to move.
Yep. Quick one, real quick. This is
Mhm.
Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
That's right.
And that word prudent, you get prudence through wisdom, right? It
Mhm.
says, "I wisdom dwell with prudence,"
Mhm.
and sound judgment. So, the when the Lord gives you that wisdom, that's when you gain prudence, right? We have the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is us being obedient, but wisdom, as we go on this walk, teaches us how to be caution. To move with cautionary. Move very cautionary.
That's right.
Right? Of being aware of all the pending dangers around you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those GMO foods, right? We gotta eat them, right?
Right.
But too
right.
much of it, that's a danger.
Yeah.
Not having control over your appetite, not having control of how much TV you're watching, how much leisure time you're giving yourself. How much stimulation on these devices. Just imagine yourself, you in a room by yourself on your phone. You imagine what that looks like to the Lord. You plugged into the Matrix.
True. I was thinking that in my
You
spirit.
know,
That's
you
like-
just
that's
watching
funny.
TV, and you ain't watching nothing informative, nothing that's gonna build up your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You plugged into the Matrix. You getting stimulated by Esau Edom,
Right.
right? And that's the flesh. That's the flesh. We gotta kill the flesh. We gotta walk, like Brother said, we gotta walk in the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're gonna have to. We're coming to these times where you're gonna have to be able to, remember these precepts. You're gonna have to, you have to have that voice of Yahweh Shema Shai. You have to be able to recognize that voice when it's the Lord speaking to you.
Hey, you gotta move like Denzel did in the book of Eli, man.
Mhm.
Where he was literally one with the word, man, to the point to where at the end of the movie, he was able to rewrite the scriptures by memory. We
Mhm.
should all be walking scriptures, all right, in that day, because we don't know what position the Lord will have us in to where, hey, we might have to teach a member of the elect. Well, brother may be in a concentration camp, or we may be on the run. We might run into a member of the elect who hasn't yet been sealed yet, because they still got the scriptures talk about the 11th hour servant, But we say all that to say before we get too far off the point. You gotta be locked in the spirit, man. All right, like it tells you in Joshua. If you get that real quick, Joshua 1:8, yeah.
Can I go through real quick?
Go ahead.
This is St. John 1:14. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld His glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Right? And the Word, Yahweh Shai was that walking example. The Word became flesh. Right? So we have to embody, we have to identify, right, as you're a teacher, you're a man of the Lord, right? That's what we identify as, right? And we have to embody that character. We have to actually walk. When people see us, oh wow, those are the men of the Lord. When they see us in our day-to-day, like how they carry themselves, how they act, right? We are the lights of the world. We're making our light shine in everything, not only when we teach, but how we carry ourselves, our reasoning, our judgment, right? In the times we're in, that's why 7 women are because women are based off feel. The way we're gonna make them feel is a spirit of warmth and comfort. Just how we carrying ourselves during that day, they're gonna flock to us.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Real quick, off what you just said. 1 John 3:1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because they knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God.
And if I mean, sons, you give sons instruction,
Yeah.
right, and order away. Brothers always go into this, right? And we've been born again. So we've been given a moral code standard that's not of this world. Like you have a piece of pie. Now we not that we got nothing to do with that pie over there, right? We got another piece of something else, right? Something greater, something better, right? And that's what we've been brought up to. And now that we have to operate in society, this world is not it. We don't value the things you people value because we don't identify as an American citizen.
Hell no.
You know, we are not of this world, right? We're waiting for our inheritance. We're waiting for these new bodies that Yahweh Shema Shai has promised us.
That's right. It says, Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, and we shall see him as he is. And that's pretty much like what the brother was just saying, man. All right. The world will see us for who we truly are, as being the sons of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the elect. All right, the ones that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is dealing with. All right, as the example that happened with Susanna. All right, as the example that happened, we're going to continue out and finish out with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All those that got vindicated by the Lord, that showed the Lord was dealing with them, man. Okay, and that's what's ultimately going to happen with all you believers, all right, that are of the elect, all right, in that time of our trial, man. All right, the world will see us as the sons of the Most High, because they're going to see the Lord's going to step in and intervene for us, man. Okay, go ahead.
You want Joshua 1:8, or do you want me to go back to Daniel?
We'll go back to Daniel.
Come.
Yeah, because the point being, hey, we gotta meditate on this word day and night, to where, like I said, it's in you. All right, because it's gonna be a time to where you might not have your sword on you, man. All right, hey, because Esau is trying to outlaw Bibles anyway. All right, like that movie, was it Fahrenheit 151?
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they pretty much couldn't have any books, so you gotta have this book in you, man. All right, like I said, the word was made flesh, and the word was made flesh in each and every one of us, man. Okay, go ahead.
Was that 17?
Start at 16 again.
Because Daniel 3:16 says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Man, that's cold. But he literally told them, like, look, if you don't worship my idol, we're going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. And they was like, look, you can do what you want. The Lord's going to save us, man. They said that with boldness, man. All right, that's the same thing we gotta do with Esau. That's what we're doing right now with Esau, man. All right, hey, to his face, telling these damn devils that, look, no matter what the hell you do to us, man, the Lord has us, man. We don't belong to you, all right, and we never have, we never will, man. So fuck you and your chip, man. We ain't taking that shit, man. Okay, go ahead.
I got a quick one dealing with the boldness.
Uh-huh.
Ecclesiastes 8:1. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing, right? These mysteries. A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Right? So us having this, this vision of the future, us understanding, us having the light to see out of this, hellhole, right? That changes the boldness of us, right? That makes us very bold when people come before us. The righteous is bold as lions.
That's right.
Right? You don't see a lion backing down from anything.
Verse 18, Daniel 3:18 says, But if not, be it known unto thee, king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Going back to the point you were saying, like, pretty much, whatever the end is, the elect is going to serve the Lord.
That's right.
It says, Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 1 time more than it wont to be heated.
7 times more. So he put that bitch hot as hell. All right, go ahead. And you gotta visualize, man. The stoves back then was way hotter than the stoves we have now, man. All right.
They had the shit where they it was kind of like with the train.
Yeah.
Like
you gotta show.
Yeah,
you gotta put. What's he gonna say that?
It says.
No, I was just agreeing.
It says, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
That's going to show you how bad that shit was. To where the people that threw them in the fire, they got burnt up, man. And they weren't even in it. just being on the outside, they got burnt up, man. So that's how you know the flames on that shit was hot, man.
It was worse. It was worse than like when you open up the stove.
Yeah.
Go all into your face. It was worse than that.
That shit happened to them, and they died, bro.
Yeah, they had to get the Jacob's fighting them a little bit. You know? He's like, you got to come here with me. The flames swallowed both. They were trying to throw him. Jack holding on.
It says, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Now, when you read the song of the three holy children, they actually walked into the fire singing. That's how much boldness they had in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, they were singing to the Lord while they walked into the fire, man. Go ahead.
Then then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like unto this, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of the Most High.
Now, see how Yahweh Shah stepped in for them? All right. Hey, the Lord was with them, just like the Lord was with Susanna. You know, we didn't read what happened out of that situation, but pretty much the Lord put the spirit on Daniel to step in for Susanna, and he pretty much, he took both the men, to the courts, and he proved, to the public, all right, that they were false witnesses, man. They both got put to death, all right. But in this situation, the Lord stepped in for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, all right. And as you're gonna read, as we go down a little bit further, hey, the Lord walked with them to where not even the hair on their clothes got singed, man. All right, so he protected them all the way. That's what we look forward to, man. All right, for the Lord to step in for us, He's gonna. Because what's that? Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord encamp around them that fear them. All right. So we got all angels, all right, walking with us right now, man. This is why when we find ourselves in certain situations in current times, we were delivered out of it. Whether it's a car wreck, all right, or some nigga tried to plot on you, like the example with brother in L.A. Dudes tried to kidnap him because of the shit that his brother did. And then they found out that he taught, and he ended up getting delivered out of that situation.
That's Florida.
It's like in Florida, different things like that, man. Hey, the Lord is always going to step in for His men, because like we read in Sirach 2, all right, and 10, all right, who that believed in the Lord was confounded? Nobody, man, all right? And that's the faith that you got to have in that day, no matter how grim your situation look, man. Go ahead.
Daniel 3:26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth out of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was a hair of their head seen, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
That's bad right there. Mm-hmm. It said not even the hair got burnt off, and it was to the point that they said they couldn't even smell smoke on them. They were perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. They was in a fire that was heated 7 times past the normal heat limit, and not even a fucking hair got singed, nor the smell of smoke was on them, bro. Mm-hmm. That's how we know that the Lord is gonna be with us in this time, man. And you gotta furnish your faith. No pun intended. All right, you gotta furnish your faith now, all right, to prepare your mind for that to happen for you, man. Because as we read earlier in the excerpt I got from the PDF, man, the Lord will use an environment of impossibility to show forth His power, man. Mm-hmm. So just when you think, man, there's no way out of this, man, the Lord's gonna step in for you like He did with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and cover you with His wings, man.
Yeah.
And in that time, can't nobody deny that, look, the Lord is dealing with that man. All right? The Lord is protecting that system, man. Okay? Because you're of the elect. All right?
Mm-hmm. And like brother said, like, your faith has to grow. right? And how do your faith grow? By doing the works. You know, you saying, and you when you go through your fiery trials, you like, oh, nah, I've been doing good. The Lord's with me. The Lord's with me. You know, He's gonna get me out of this situation. I've been praying. You know, I've been doing everything I need to do through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, and I believe He's gonna get me out. And look, He gets you out of it, and that's how your faith. That's how you build that faith. Faith without works is dead.
Yeah, man.
You gotta your faith gotta be tested.
Yeah, that's how you truly know. You know what you're made of in that day, man.
If something's good, you gotta try the food after you cook it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to see how strong you is. Sometimes you gotta do strength tests, man. You get in the gym. All right, let me see if I can hit this weight at this certain weight, whatever, man. You know, you gotta go beyond your PR, man.
Yeah.
All right, and that's essentially what's being done to us in the spirit, man. All right, the Lord is fortifying our faith, man. All right, so we'll finish it out and we'll close it.
Daniel 3:28. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and changed their king, and have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, that they may not serve nor worship any power except their own power. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other power that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon.
Yeah, so pretty much, man, they got rewarded, you know, for their faith. And Nebuchadnezzar, he had to pretty much, you know, acknowledge how Bashem Yahweh shot, man. All right. So that's what's going to happen in the world when the elect, all right, is put in that same situation, man. All right, the world will have no choice but to acknowledge how Bashem Yahweh shot, because nobody else is going to have a say so against what they just seen. Because the world, let's believe it, the world is all going to see, all right, the Lord stepping for the elect. And how are they going to see it? Because the Lord is going to make the elect's salvation be shown when He delivers them up into that chariot, man. Like it tells you Wisdom of Solomon 5, man. That's when everybody's going to know. Those were the sons of God right there, man. Yeah. You know?
And if I may say, they went from a situation where they were almost about to, you know, perish, to where they got rewarded. They
got exalted. And that's what's going to happen with the elect, man. All right, we're going to go from the bottom of the bottom, all right, to the gods on earth, man. All right, the highest of the high on the earth, man, because the elect, all right, they're going to be in a position that no other man on the earth is going to be in. All right, all Israel is going to be on high, but the elect is going to be up the highest. All right, it's going to be levels in the kingdom, man.
And you see how them maintaining their integrity, not making a rash decision, made them get that victory. That's why now, whatever brothers may be dealing with, right, whether, you know, your unsatiable appetite, you know, it's just something, you know, I can just speak on. But, you know, unsatiable, whatever it is, right, you denying, like, you got those 10 o'clock cravings, like, yeah, I want something to eat, just go in the bed. That's training you, you know. That's getting you stronger to have more temperance, to where, yeah, with him, Esau, you know, he coming. It's a war. You're gonna make a situation where you're not gonna have any food. You know, the Lord might tempt you a little bit more, right? Might have you. You might be 2 days in a fast when Esau snatch you up. You know, there's the type of times we're coming into, right? So brothers gotta be willing to really deny them. So you gotta cut off the flesh now, right? You gotta purge. That's why the apostles telling brothers do those cleanses, those detoxes, right? Because that gets your mind right. I got a precept. Brothers don't got one. This is just real quick. 2nd Ezra 2. I'm gonna go straight to the point. In verse 47. 46. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them? Yeah, and giveth palms in their hands, right? This is Yahweh Shai giving crowns to his elect.
Right, and that palms is going in. That's a symbol of victory.
And he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world, Then begin I, right? They confess them through their actions,
Yep.
right? Through deeds,
Yep.
through word and truth, right? Then begin I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. You have to stand stiff, right? Not breaking ranks, not making haste during the times of trouble, right? Esau is gonna find out he's not that unstoppable object, you know. Well, we're immovable, right? Found that upon that rock.
Because pretty much the elect is going to be established in that rock. You know, when you go into a storm, like the trees that we usually see that like stand up is the ones that's not like super stiff. You know, the ones that pretty much sway, but pretty much their roots go into whatever they're rooted into, and the elect is going to be rooted into Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
Off of what you just said, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what will happen in the end of him.
Because Esau's a hunter. He's a man of war. He's a man of the field.
Yep.
This dude like, all right, challenge on.
Yep. You saying the Lord gonna take care of you? Shit. Let me see. You know, he wanted, because Esau is all about proving everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the Lord's gonna use him to prove your faith, man. It says, verse 18, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. So that's how you know everything works in the favor of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So this nigga is gonna help show everybody that we were right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, and that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Okay, and that's once again that impossible situation you're gonna find yourself in. Are you really ready to die for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man? That's the end all be all of how far this thing is gonna go.
Yep.
All right, being faced with death because of your beliefs, man.
Yep.
And we know the majority of the world, they ain't doing that shit. All right, especially these Americans, they definitely ain't doing that shit, man. Okay, because you got Americans that question these Arabs that will go blow themselves up for Allah, and they were like, man, Jesus don't want me to do that. Jesus just blessed me with a new house.
I mean, nobody want to die for their country no more.
Well, of course not.
You know? So Yahweh Shema Shai, he looking for men that are down for the cause.
That love not this world. That love not their lives unto death. All right? So when whatever Esau plans on doing with you, you got to just be like, fuck it. All right? Because at the end of the day, no matter what happens, the Lord is with us, man. All right? Look at that. We'll close Isaiah 41.
This is Isaiah, also Yeshua chapter 41 and verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee,
Right.
saith the Lord.
The Lord called us worms because as worms, we don't have any type of defense against what this devil is about to bring to us, man. All right? Physical defense, when we say it like that. But we have the Lord in our corner, though. That's why he told us not to fear not. And when you go into the blue letter and type in how many verses or how many times it says fear not in the scriptures, it tells you fear not 144 times, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah 41 and 14 says, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel.
The Lord guaranteed it. Because it says, man, he is a power that cannot lie. All right, the scriptures tell you his words were purified 7 times over, which means it's complete perfection, man. The Lord means what he says, man. He put his word over his name. So if he said that he's going to be with the elect, he meant that shit, man. Go ahead.
Verse 15,
Yeah.
Isaiah 41 and 15, it says, Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains.
Oh, shit, that was the point. Slide. All right. Yeah, so like I said, man, the Lord, he's with the elect. He's gonna protect it. He's gonna deliver us, man. So really, we don't have nothing to worry about, man. And that's the thing that you have to ingrain in your mind, no matter what the fuck happens, man. Know the Lord is with you, man. You claim you believe in the scriptures. You have the names, all right. Trust in them names, man. All right, because that's gonna be your only fence of protection in those times, man. Hey, fuck Esau and whatever the hell he trying to do, man. Hey, this is the Lord's program, and we're gonna move on with what the Lord wants us to do, man.
Y'all got anything else?
Okay, so with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but you know that's how the spirit goes. So, hey, with that, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makar Double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.